Greetings, YouTube. It's going to be a reply to my good friend Euphoric Impact. His, well, not necessarily recent video. It's probably been about a month. His video about Jeremiah Wright. And I was going to make a reply to this earlier, but my webcam has been down, so here it goes. Jeremiah is right. America is an imperialist power. America is founded on oppression. It is founded on terror, on slavery, and on theft. Founded on the degradation and exploitation of its citizens, and before that, its inhabitants that it refused to grant citizenship to. And while this is true of virtually every society I can think of, it is generally to a lesser extent. America truly has few equals in all the annals of history. It has victimized the black and Native American inhabitants through enslavement, genocide, theft of their lands on one hand, and theft of their very bodies on the other. And then the creation and propagation of white supremacist ideologies in a sad, shallow, pathetic, and oh-so-transparent attempt to justify this victimization. And yes, victimization. This is not a promotion of the quote-unquote victim mentality. There is a difference between understanding that someone can be adequately described as a victim as opposed to the fallacy that one should be defined as a victim. Admitting one's valid description as such lays the groundwork for true liberation. It may be cliche, but the first step to solving a problem is admitting that there is one. And that is what black liberation theology, and indeed liberation theology of all stripes, does. It admits the problem of oppression and advocates a theological perspective that calls for the end of that oppression. And while I certainly reject the traditional view of an external and objectively real deity, I advocate all movements for and moves towards the end of oppression, the destruction of bigotry, and the elevation of all members of the human family to genuine equality. And I see these goals as inherent prerequisites for any theological position that seeks to legitimately lay claim to the title liberation theology. The Nation of Islam and black Israelites do not qualify. They merely seek to become the oppressor, or at least believe that their sky daddy will return and place them in the position of oppressor of all those who bear certain physiological similarities with those who have historically oppressed black people in America. They also have extremely reactionary views regarding women and the LGBTQ community. This is not true liberation. I see the liberation of any as inherently contingent on the liberation of all. I sense that is a belief that I share with Wright. I have never witnessed his advocation of bigotry. In fact, I've witnessed his condemnation of it repeatedly in the very limited exposure I've had to his sermons and speeches. It is just constant. The closest to this that he has come that I have seen are some overgeneralizations in his rhetoric. And while these are certainly not beyond the realm of what can be criticized, any criticism given should be tempered by an honest admittance that they were rhetorical overgeneralizations, and clearly not an attempt to paint all white people with one broad brush, and most definitely not an attempt to instigate white genocide, as some morons here on YouTube seem to believe, or at least, and probably more likely, just wish to get others to believe. I am also aware that he supports true equality between the genders and gay rights. He is in deep opposition to the wars we are engaged in abroad and the drug war at home. He advocates a single-payer national health care option. He is a strong proponent of the rights of labor, was and is a supporter of the Occupy movement, etc. In short, while he is more religious than Obama, he is far more progressive. He is far more principled, and he has the balls to stick to his convictions. That is something I wish I could say for Obama, and something I wish Obama would have picked up from Wright, or at least held on to. Obama started off as a community organizer. I like to believe that there's some of that left in him somewhere, although judging by what he's done since he has taken office, it is for the most part pretty hard to feel like that hope is legitimate. It's been very disappointing. They have attempted to demonize Obama through his connection to Wright when he was younger, and even to, recently, maybe in this day, although, they had a public break. But, first off, Obama is not like Wright. You can tell by his voting record, whether it was in the Senate or as the president, that he is nowhere near as far left as Wright is. I wish he was. And the methods of demonizing Wright have been thoroughly disingenuous. They have been quotes taken out of context, quotes taken out of context by people who are not truly insulted that he made a legitimate criticism. No, that's what they are mad about. Is they're mad that he makes legitimate criticisms of America. They want to paint America as this holy, godlike entity that is not even capable of wrong. It is axiomatic that anything America does, even when it makes its mistakes, it is axiomatic because it is America, and for no other reason that it is America, that, well, the intentions must have been good, and which is total horseshit. The American government, the American state, the American power structure, the American ruling class is like any other state, institution, power structure, or ruling class that has ever existed. It is out for its own interests. It doesn't know how not to be. It is not an individual. It doesn't, it's groupthink. They understand that they are part of a ruling elite, and they will do whatever it takes to solidify their control. They will throw us crumbs when they know they need to throw us crumbs, and they will take it away when they feel that we're just not going to fight to keep it. And that's really the situation. And Wright calls the American ruling class the elite, the state, the power structure on that. Obama does not. He is complicit in every way with it. He's just he believes in getting us to go with the program by dangling a carrot in front of our in front of our faces, and the occasional use of the stick, instead of just beating us to fuck into a bloody mess with a stick and then shoving it up our ass like the Republicans do. Another method of demonizing Wright has been that label of black liberation theology and the false connection that gives to him and people like Farrakhan and the Black Israelites, Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X before his Hajj. It is bullshit. You cannot say, just because somebody, there's a difference in socialists, there is a difference in anarchists, there are different breeds of capitalism, of republicanism, of any type of label you place on something. You have to break it down to the individuals when you start talking about individuals. And so they have to make this false connection, because you can't actually look at what Jeremiah Wright says and come to the conclusions that these people come to. It is blatant obfuscation. It is an intentional twisting of reality as it actually exists to fit the narrative that they want to portray. I trust that most of my subscribers are already well aware of this, are hip to this fact, but hopefully it gets to some. But people who don't already know it don't know it because they don't want to know it. So I guess I'm just talking to hear myself talk, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, that's my thoughts on Jeremiah Wright and etc. Alright, peace.